Is the glass half full or is it half empty? One of the great mysteries of the universe, or at the very least for our purposes, a launching point for today's debates with Craig Button. Craig, I'll throw out a scenario, you take a side. Over the last month, the Ottawa Senators have put together the fourth best points percentage in the Eastern Conference. They're now just a point out of a playoff spot as we're chatting. Is the Sens glass half full or is it half empty?
Oh, it's half full, Gino. I think that the fans of the Ottawa Senators certainly have been waiting to see this type of performance from their Ottawa Senators players. Everybody's looked at the team and said, look at how many good young players they have. Certainly, there is every reason for the glass to be half full. And when you start to consider what their ultimate goal is, you got to get to the playoffs first and foremost. But certainly, to be able to sip playoff wine, that would be a nice thing for the Ottawa Senators and their fan base.
Well said, my friend. Now, look, while the Sens have had lots to cheer about, Bruins fans booed their team off the ice at home last night. Winless in their last five, dead last in the East in terms of points per game since Christmas. Any reason for an optimistic glass half full take, Craig? Or is their glass clearly half empty?
It's clearly half empty. I'm not even sure if it's half empty. There might be just a little bit of drops in the bottom of that glass. And the lack of skill that the Boston Bruins have up front, they just don't have a lot of firepower. They just do not have enough ability to dictate the game offensively. So they're hanging on the threads of defensive play, which hasn't been great. And I would suggest this, after the Bruins were booed off the ice, I don't think there's enough liquid in the glass for them to drown their sorrows in Boston at the present time.
Fair enough. As far as individuals are concerned, how about Jonathan Huberdeau? He was the OT hero for the Flames in Anaheim, now on a pace for a career-high 35 in the season. He's been much maligned, Craig, since a move to Calgary. But is Huberdeau's glass now half full or half empty?
It's half full, Gino, and it's half full with a beautiful French Bordeaux. And that's what you want to see from Jonathan Huberdeau. You want to see him finding a level of play that is consistent, number one, and number two, finds them at a higher level than we've seen in the last 2 years. I don't think there's any question that Jonathan Huberdeau's resurgence has been a real key for the success of the Calgary Flames this year. And Jonathan Huberdeau has never ducked that he hasn't performed up to his capabilities. But certainly a lot of reason for optimism in Calgary. Jonathan Huberdeau has certainly turned that from half empty to half full.
Craig Button's cup runneth over when it comes to optimism going to the NHL second half, and much more importantly, when it comes to his love of fine wine.